Hey guys, good news. More jabs for everybody. FDA authorizes second booster shot or fourth jab for those 50 or older. Just shut up and get the jab. You just do your part. We're all in this together. Wear your mask. I hate all of these narratives that are just, hey, listen, okay, just do it. Why? What's your justification for it? Just fucking do it. And it's like, okay, cool. I understand what you're doing. You're just trying to push something that you don't understand. But again, this isn't unique to the COOF. It's just the most popular overarching narrative when it comes to this whole ideology that just shut up, listen, and appeal to authority. Listen to the experts and trust the people who theoretically know more than you and that they just have a higher position of power because you're too stupid to think independently for yourself. Anyways, line up for more jabs. Food and Drug Administration on Tuesday authorized Pfizer's BioNTech and Moderna's second booster shot. Has Moderna even gotten clearance for their first booster shot? I don't fucking even know at this point. The science must have changed at this point. For the COOF, for those 50 and older and certain immunocompromised individuals. See how it always starts? Oh, the immunocompromised people. Okay, then it's 50 and older. Oh, is that the highest risk group? Not 65 and older? Oh, okay, cool. What's the average age of death when it comes to the COOF? Oh, like 84? Oh, okay, cool. It's early to mid 80s, by the way. It's older than the expected age of death for most of the population anyways, but regardless. If you're over 50 though, get your fourth dose, and then your fifth and sixth and seventh and eighth. The FDA had already authorized an additional booster for those immunocompromised individuals following completion of their 3-dose primary vaccination series, but Tuesday's decision opened the door to other individuals who may be higher risk for severe disease, hospitalization, and death. That fit 50-year-olds to get the second booster shot as well. Emerging evidence suggests that a second booster jab improves protection against severe COOF. That's exactly what manifests when people catch Omicron or the subvariant of Omicron, right? Oh, wait. Oh, okay, cool. And is not associated with new safety concerns. We talked about those on Rumble yesterday. For more on that, I have a link in the trailer on YouTube, or you could just go over to Rumble, where freedom of speech is welcomed and appreciated. The amended emergency use authorization now covers individuals 50 and older who had 4 months go by since their last booster shot, as well as certain immunocompromised individuals 12 and older. Second booster dose of Pfizer or Moderna may be administered to individuals 50 and older at least 4 months after their recipient of the first dose. Imagine being pathetic and having your vaccination a 4-month anniversary marked down on your calendar. I can imagine there's probably people like that just waiting to get your next dose. Oh boy. Remember how there was talks where, it could be yearly. Oh, like the flu shot. Interesting. Oh, okay, cool. Oh no, then it could be bi-yearly. Could be every 6 months. Oh, okay, cool. And then it was a conspiracy theory when Fauci and Biden were talking about every 5 months. But then now seemingly out of the fucking blue, man, now just line up again every 4 months. Okay, cool. So when are we going to get to quarterly? That seems to be coming. Anyways, the second booster dose from Pfizer or whatever may be administered to individuals 12 years of age or older with certain kinds of immunocompromisations. That seems like a word. At least 4 months after the receipt of their first booster dose. Listen, if you're really at risk, just wait 4 months and you can get another one, because just be on that big pharma tit, right? The second booster dose of Moderna may be administered at least 4 months, for individuals 18 and older. I just saved everybody the extra reading. So if you were lucky enough to get Pfizer, if you're hashtag Team Pfizer out there, and you're over the age of 12, good for you. But if you're Moderna, you have to wait until at least the legal age. Okay. Peter Marks, MD, PhD, director of the FDA's Center for Biologic Evaluation and Research, said that current evidence, whatever that means, points to some waning of protection over time against serious outcomes of the COOF in older and immunocompromised individuals. That's nice. What's the current evidence on that? Oh, we're never going to say it. That's fine. Kind of like how we're never going to figure out the origins of this virus, are we? Watchdog FOIA finds NIH deleted info from Wuhan lab on CCP virus genetic sequencing. Yeah, don't do any research into this. Don't try to figure out the origin origins or that. We got people for that. Okay. National Institute of Health documents obtained by nonprofit watchdog, let's get that correct, in a federal court suit reveals the agency deleted China virus genetic sequencing information from the Wuhan Institute of Virology at the Chinese lab's request. Huh. Weird. Why would they do that? Why would they get rid of specific genetic sequencing data? What wouldn't they want you to find out? Then at the same time, be aware of the bio labs in Ukraine, not for any specific reason or anything like that. Anyways, the Arlington, Virginia-based Empower Oversight whistleblowers and researchers. Oh, those are probably the bad whistleblowers, though. We shouldn't listen to them. Obtained in the Freedom of Information Act request and a lawsuit more than 230 pages of documents dating from 2020, including emails, memoranda, and correspondence among and between the lab and multiple NIH officials. CCP virus, also known as the novel coronavirus, in case you forgot. The first death from the virus in the United States was reported in January of 2020. Yeah. It's been a while. And since there's been more than 1 million Americans who have succumbed with the virus, and in excess of 6 million globally. They say to, I say with. Yeah, pick your poison and get the booster for the poison. Controversy has raged in the United States over whether the virus originated in an animal to human transfer at a Wuhan area wet market. Who believes that at this point? Honestly. Oh, it came from bats in a wet market. Okay. As Chinese officials have insisted. They also insisted it originated in Europe and in the United States. So, hey man, whatever. Or it escaped from a Wuhan lab. Escape is a strong word. Among the NIH officials prominently mentioned in the documents are then Director Francis Collins. He stepped down, though. You can't hold him accountable anymore. He's no longer an elected official, right? And National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases Director, you guessed it, Anthony Fauci. On June 5th, 2020, a Wuhan University professor requested that NIH retract the researcher's submission of a bioproject ID letters and numbers because of error. The Wuhan researcher explained, "I'm sorry for my wrong submitting." Oh, okay, cool. The EO said in a statement Tuesday, bioproject ID letters and numbers is referred to as the submission ID submission letters and numbers. 3 days later, on June 8th, the NIH declined the researcher's request, advising that it prefers to edit or replace as opposed to delete sequences submitted to the SRA, EO reported. But then, on June 16th, 2020, NIH officials reversed themselves and deleted the genetic sequencing data as requested by the Wuhan researcher. Aha! Researcher was quoted by EO as explaining to NIH that recently I found it very hard to visit my submitted SRA data, and it would be very difficult for me to update the data. I've submitted an updated version of the SRA data to another website, so I want to withdraw the old one at NCBI in order to avoid the data version issue. Interesting. After some discussion about what would be deleted, the NIH concluded the discussion by reassuring the Wuhan researcher that it had withdrawn everything. Don't worry, there's nothing there to go back and take a look at. Documents also indicate, according to the EO, that that after researcher Jesse Bloom, a virologist at the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, alerted NIH about the deleted sequences. Collins and Fauci hosted a Sunday afternoon Zoom meeting. The invitation that Collins set out for the meeting asks invitees to read Bloom's June 22nd, 2021 preprint paper closely to provide their advice on interpretation and significance of it. According to the EO, the documents show the Professor Trevor Bedford of Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center later sent the group an email stating that the deleted data seemed to support the idea that the pandemic began outside the Wuhan market in Wuhan, and the matter must be analyzed properly. But it originated in a wet market. Trust us, China said so. Don't dig any deeper. What else does this EO say? The report also claims that the NIH communications staff were using off-the-record emails to advise reporters towards more favorable coverage concerning termination of public access to the sequences by the Washington Post and away from the coverage by the New York Times, whose tone had been criticized in communications among NIH officials. So the New York Times wasn't quite towing the line enough for the administration. Funny about that. But the Washington Post would bend over backwards and grab their ankles for it. Okay. Neither Collins nor Fauci nor spokespeople for the NIH or NIAID responded to the Epoch Times request for comment. Why would they? They have secret emails to write. The EO document release is likely to strengthen congressional efforts to get all facts concerning NIH's role in funding the Wuhan lab research that may be at the center of the CCP virus creation and spread around the world. Yeah, no, that's something else that Republicans claim. If we take back the House, we're definitely going to be doing a more in-depth investigation than just sending over some people. Oh, actually not sending anybody over to China. That was the executive order by Biden. Just create some people for 90 days to figure out what went on in the Wuhan lab. Just go back and review the documents that you already have that prove inconclusivity. You just go back and you review them again, and we'll spend like millions of dollars on that. You guys just go ahead, do in-depth analysis on it, see what you find out. Oh, you didn't find anything? Case closed, I guess. But no, not like I really care, and not that it's terribly important, really. If it originated in a lab or in a wet market, it really doesn't much matter. But the fact that they lied about it, okay, I don't think it was, released as a bioweapon or anything like that. I think that that's absurd to think. Also because if you're going to do bioweapons, you do something a little bit more deadly, but whatever. But I think holding people accountable for fucking up the world for 2 years, that's probably pretty important. But you know what? Hey, what am I? I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I just read articles and shit. With all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.